Roxo Media House.
Practice 13 for the TCU Horned Frogs. All eyes on the Colorado Buffaloes on September 2nd. And today is about restoration.
This is Frogs Today Daily. Frog Fall Camp 2022 presented by Dave's Hot Chicken. And here's your host, the voice of the Frogs, Brian Estridge.
Welcome in here to the Morris practice fields as the Frogs get ready for that game against Colorado. I'm Brian Estridge, and we are here. Post-practice 13, getting ready now to get some reaction from the head coach, Sonny Dykes. He will be in the interview room here shortly. We'll go live there. Coming up a little bit later on, Carlton Buckels is going to join us. He's the corners coach here at TCU. Boys, he got some talent over there that he's dealing with. He's got Josh Newton. He's got Trey Hodges-Tomlinson. He's got Noah Daniels. He's got Keon Stewart, trying to build some depth. We'll talk to Coach Buckels about that group a little bit later on. We'll get reaction from David Beaudin to some news on the portal front. Don't worry, no one's leaving. It's just how folks in college football are starting to manipulate that portal. We'll talk about that. Jeff Wilson will react to what Coach Sonny Dykes says, and we'll also hear from Savion Williams, the Frogs wide receiver. Right now, though, I'm being told that Coach Dykes making his way in the media room. He's going to address the media. We go live there right now here. Post-practice number 13 for Frogs Today Daily.
It's kind of the middle part of camp. You know, we're a little bit more than halfway to the first ball game as far as practices go, and certainly intensity practices for sure. You know, I think kind of just to give a quick overall assessment, I think the guys are in a good spot. I mean, you know, when we crank it up in practice, they get after it, and I've been really encouraged, you know, by that. You know, I think learning to practice is always one of the most important things you can teach your football team, and it's so important to get good quality reps out there, and we're getting it, you know, consistently. And so I'm feel really good about the work that we've gotten so far. We're a little banged up. I wish we were a little less banged up, but that's part of this part of camp. Took the shoulder pads off today. You know, today originally schedule-wise was designed to be a scrimmage day, but I felt like we've gotten enough contact coming in today. Felt like it needed, you know, we needed to make an adjustment and get some guys back healthy. They'll have a day off tomorrow, and then a little bit more kind of house cleaning items. You know, we'll start to have some practices that are going to be a little bit more trying to simulate game situations in the stadium. A lot of situational type things, special teams, and just game stuff as well. So, you know, that's kind of where this thing's headed, to do a lot of that stuff generally, and then we'll start focusing, you know, on Colorado the end of next week. So that's kind of the way this thing's starting to line out. And again, feel really good about where we are, and very impressed with the work ethic and the amount of work that we've gotten done, and really like the way the guys are practicing. Well, I think the last 5 days, I think Savion Williams has really done a fantastic job. I mean, he's playing like we hope he would. You know, he's coming off of an injury that, quite frankly, we thought would sideline him until probably midseason, and he bounced back really quickly. And, you know, came back, in first couple of days he was filling things out. And then he's hit his stride here recently. He's starting to make a lot of plays, I think playing with a lot of confidence. I think the quarterbacks are starting to really get confidence in him as well. So I'm starting to like that. You know, the two freshman defensive ends have both been really impressive. You know, Mike and Paul, those guys have exceeded our expectations in terms of making plays and doing stuff. You know, Bud Clark's had a great camp. You know, been really impressed with Josh Newton, what he's done, the consistency and the effort that he practices with day in, day out. You know, so there's been a lot of kind of pleasant things that have happened. You know, Shad Banks, I think, starting to do some good things here and there at linebacker, starting to show up a little bit more. You know, just pleased overall with the development of the offensive line, starting to see some depth. And, you know, we've bounced guys from position to position to position, which I think, again, our job is to always find the best five and get them on the field and to try to be unique and prepare them for that. And I think we've accomplished that to this point. You know, the one that Trent Battle has been a big surprise as well. You know, his consistency has been really good. He's been very productive. You know, so there's quite a few guys that come to mind. Really like what we're seeing out of the group, and you know, and really like the consistent effort that we're getting day in, day out in practice has been really good. A couple guys here and there that are coming off of stuff that's you know, that it takes a little bit of time. I mean, it's nothing. Right now, you know, the way I look at it and see it, I mean, I don't see anybody, maybe with the exception of Marcel, that won't play week 1 at this point. So, that's good to feel that way at this point of camp. We still got a long way to go. But as of right now, I think we'll end up being very healthy. I think first part of next week we'll have most everybody back, and looking forward to getting out there and starting to kind of get the game planning stuff going with the guys that we think we're going to go in the game and play with. Yeah, anybody that can help us win, we're going to play. I mean, that's the deal, especially in today's world. You just got to kind of, while they're here, I think you got to take it year by year, and if they're ready to play and we think they can help us, then they're going to play. So there will be a number of the true freshmen, I think, right now that will play. I think very few of them will redshirt, honestly. And I think a lot of those guys will have significant roles on special teams early, and then their reps, I think, will increase as the season progresses, and getting on the field more and more just in offensive or defensive situations. Yeah, so Majors had a good enough camp. Majors at a position where we got 3 guys we feel pretty good about. But also Majors one of those guys that's incredibly talented, got a ton of speed, got a lot of upside, has had a really good camp, has been very consistent, and again, I think in some ways he's probably ahead of where we thought he'd be. So I'm encouraged by that, and it's like anything else, we'll kind of see with Major what makes sense, and again, if he can help us win, we're going to play him.
What about Jordan Hudson? I know you have a lot of depth.
Yeah, no, Jordan will definitely play. Yeah, expect Jordan to play. Expect Jordan to play significantly, and on teams, and also be in the rotation. No, not at all. I mean, I think there's been ones where, quite frankly, that we've had quarterback competitions in the past where it was more of survival than it was a competition. You know what I mean? In other words, it was just like who can be the least bad. And so, we've dealt with that from time to time and year to year, and then, somebody wins the job, and then you manage those guys, and that's just the way it is. But the good thing is I don't feel that way at all. I mean, I'm very optimistic about our quarterbacks, and whoever it is that goes out there and plays, I have a ton of confidence that they're going to play at a very high level. So I'm not worried about the position at all, honestly. I mean, I feel really good about it. I have a ton of confidence in those guys. I think the players do as well, and I think that's more important, honestly, than it is, how I feel about them. And I see good things from those guys all the time, and I'm talking like high-level good things on a daily basis. And so, it's like anything else. We're just trying to see which one moves the team the best, manages the game, doesn't turn the ball over, and makes plays. And so, but I feel confident about 2 of them for sure, and I get more confidence every day about Sam, and so I like the position. I think we're going to be good at that position. I think it's a battle of good players, and so I feel really optimistic about it. Yeah. I mean, it's the same old deal. We'll figure it out, kind of see where it goes. We'll talk a little bit about that tomorrow. Quite frankly, I haven't really talked about it much as a staff up to this point. We'll have some meetings tomorrow. We'll do a mock travel squad. We'll talk about some depth chart stuff tomorrow. It'll be the first time that we've talked about a depth chart, quite frankly, as a coaching staff. And so we'll do that tomorrow as the day off goes. And then, the quarterback conversation will happen a little bit tomorrow, and then we'll evaluate it and see, and kind of see where it goes from there. That's a little discouraging. I mean, I don't really know what to make of that. I mean, again, I think sometimes, we sit back and we look at situations and we make judgments, and we don't really know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And so, the LSU deal is, I'm sure, what you're referring to. And so I don't really know what happened there. I don't know what the situation is. I know that they have 3 quarterbacks. It was kind of a 3-quarterback battle. One of them had some snaps there, and some other guys didn't have many or any. But beyond that, I don't really know. And so I think that there's obviously all these things are considerations. At the same time, you always want to do what's best for the players. In other words, if we had come out of spring and one of the quarterbacks, we knew he was going to win the job, we would have, declared a quarterback competition over, had a quarterback, let the backup know what's going on, and then make decisions that are appropriate and good for their well-being. But it's always a concern. But I think, just knowing the guys on our team, I just don't think that's going to happen. But it is kind of big picture stuff. It is a little concerning and worrisome. And I think for us as coaches, so much of what we used to do was roster management and projecting. And, okay, this guy's a freshman, this guy's a sophomore, we're going to project this, we're going to project that. And, it's just more difficult to do that in today's environment with all the stuff that's going on. And so, it's like anything else. This is our team. We're going to coach this team. When the season's over, we're going to continue to recruit the guys that we're recruiting now. When the season's over, we'll evaluate, the positions of strength and positions of need and go out and try to address those as quickly as we can, whether it's high school players or junior college players or the transfer portal. I look at it as a 24-hour deal. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I wake up in the morning and you coach the guys that are here. The good thing is we haven't had any kind of issues with that at all during fall camp, and I don't anticipate we will, but I think, it's a 24-hour deal, and it is what it is, and you just have to adjust and look at it that way and, again, figure out how to make it work for you.
That's Coach Sonny Dykes there in the interview room. Reaction to what he had to say next when Jeff Wilson joins us when we continue after this timeout.
Dave's Hot Chicken is a cult favorite and now has 2 locations in Fort Worth, Bryant Irvin Road on I-20 and Berry Street at TCU, both owned and operated by Horned Frogs. Mention the Frogs Today show and get 10% off anytime and order online at daveshotchicken.com.
Back we come here, Frogs Today Daily. Thanks for joining us, presented by our friends at Dave's Hot Chicken. All right, some reaction now to what you just heard from head coach Sonny Dykes. Jeff Wilson joining us from the Sam Baugh Indoor Practice Facility, his favorite spot on campus. All right, Jeff, let's start with this. I got to talk quarterbacks first. The quarterback news as you interpret what Coach Dykes was saying.
Yeah, Brian, it's always a good day when the head coach gives an update and gives the media his time. And Sonny Dykes today spoke for about 9 to 10 minutes. Pretty good, covered a lot of topics. Eventually, we got to the quarterbacks and probably should have led with that. But Sonny Dykes doesn't know who the starter is right now. And they are going to discuss this Wednesday. They're going to start going over depth charts. Wednesday's an off day, so they'll have time to talk about that. They'll have time to talk Thursday when they're at the hotel getting ready for their mock game Friday and the scenarios that play out every day before a game at a hotel and things like that. So there'll be some depth chart talk. I asked him, does he think that a starter could come out of that? And he said that my guess was as good as his, which I promptly doubted. But I think that he's comfortable with the position. He feels good about it, thinks it could be a strength. He said he's had past battles where the main objective was to find the quarterback who would be least bad. So he doesn't have that problem now. He thinks the offense will run with whoever is ultimately picked as the starter. He said he's seen Chandler Morris and Max Duggan, not necessarily in that order, do good things, make impactful high-level plays. And Coach Dykes is starting to fall for Sam Jackson more and more every day. So the quarterback's in a good spot, Dykes said.
Well, if he goes for, as you said, 9 or 10 minutes there in the interview room, there had to be another topic other than quarterbacks. Any other nuggets that came out to you?
Yeah, there's a lot going on with the football team, obviously. The last couple of days have been lighter, and as they try to get their legs back under them, kind of at the midpoint of camp, at least in terms of practices before the September 2nd season opener at Colorado. So now's the time where they kind of regain their legs. There's a light practice, no pads today. Initially, there was some scrimmage time on the schedule, but Coach Dykes decided to strip that away and do what was best for the players. Again, they'll be off on Wednesday. Thursday they'll practice, then go into the mock game thing. No practice Saturday before Meet the Frogs, and then Sunday they get back at it. A couple other things. I asked him about what his tenor was on playing true freshmen, and he said anybody who can help the team is going to play. And he said that he expects only very few of the redshirt freshmen to actually take a redshirt. Jordan Hudson, he left no doubt that Jordan Hudson is going to be heavily involved in the offense and on special teams. And then he gave a nice little shout out to Major Everhart, the super speedy track guy, one of the best sprinters in the state the past couple of years from Amarillo, Tascosa. He was a running back in high school. He can do a lot of different things in the running game and the passing game. And he's also become at least the third guy on punt and kickoff returns. So it'll be interesting to see how many young guys hit the field there September 2nd in Boulder, Colorado.
All right, Jeff, great stuff there. Thanks for that reaction to what Coach Dykes had to say. Coming up next, Carlton Buckels will join us, the cornerback coach for the Horned Frogs. He knows this Joe Gillespie defense better than anyone. He's with us when we continue with Frogs Today Daily, presented by our friends at Dave's Hot Chicken. The Flying T Club provides the everyday TCU fan and alum the ability to specifically support TCU student-athletes. Flying T Club offers 3 levels of memberships. The Flying T Club is a nonprofit organization supporting the brand development of TCU student-athletes through a series of unique event-based networking opportunities, which are exclusive to our members. These events provide a great social engagement tool for our members and student-athletes alike. Follow them on Instagram at Flying T Club, or online at flyingtclub.com.
Say hello to the water of tomorrow. Richard's Rainwater. Richard's Rainwater is 100% rain. Refreshing, renewable, and the only ingredient we use in our water. Why rain? Because everyone deserves access to clean water, and rain is a 100% renewable resource available everywhere. Drink the rain. Save the planet. Shop now at richardsrainwater.com.
Welcome back into Frogs Today Daily, presented by our friends at Dave's Hot Chicken, and we are honored to have Carlton Buckels alongside the Frog Corner coach. Man, I'm glad you're in town. Good to see you.
Appreciate it. Glad to be here.
Yeah.
Glad to be here, man. I'm excited.
You know, one of the things that I'm excited about is the energy that you bring and the history with Coach Gillespie. If folks don't know, Carlton spent 3 years?
4 years.
4 years at Tulsa with
right.
Coach Gillespie. I mean, this defense, you know it back and forth, don't you?
Yeah, I'm very familiar with it, and we had a lot of fun running this defense in Oklahoma, and I feel like it gives us an opportunity to showcase our speed, our talent, athleticism, and it's DB friendly. Is what I like about it.
You know, the thing when you talk about the speed that really turned me on to it was you get to play a little bit quicker, and then that allows you to kind of free your mind.
Yeah.
You know, you're not thinking of the last second. I mean, you can react to the football this way, right?
Yes, and that's one thing I like about it because it's not very complex, and guys get a chance to just fly to the ball, show their speed, and it's not a whole lot for the secondary to remember, especially the corners. They kind of get told what to do in certain coverages. So most of the time you're gonna have that cat in front of you.
Yeah.
So just go cover him.
One of the things that folks may realize, the 3-3-5 has been around. We've seen it in different variations. Folks will remember back in the day when TC was in the Mountain West, Rocky Long was running it. But it's totally different. And I'm going to use this. I'm not talking about the other ones. This is a sound 3-3-5 to witness.
It is. I mean, we stopped the run very well. And one thing I like about our guys, our defense, our team itself, I mean, we have some fast guys, so we utilize those guys in a lot of different ways. We play zone out of it. You can play your man out of it. You can blitz out of it. You can bring an outside backer, bring an inside backer, but you can also disguise a lot of things in it, so guys have fun, just taking ownership in it.
The other thing that stands out to me when you look at this defense is it's tailor-made for recruiting today. I know recruiting is a priority for Coach Sonny Dykes, but you think about where players are, where you struggle to find numbers. Going to the 3-down lineman system really helps.
Right, no doubt, because it's hard to find linemen.
Yeah.
They high priority.
Yeah.
And you find a good one, you better grab him.
Right.
So a lot of guys in this defense, our front three right now, man, they are big and they can run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and strong. And so utilizing those 3 guys and adding a linebacker to it or 2 linebackers to it, we have to really use our best guys up front at all times as far as making plays.
Your home state is almost over-recruited for defensive linemen in Louisiana. That's where a lot of folks are going to try to find them.
No doubt. We're going to find them wherever. We're going to try to recruit Texas and keep the guys at home. But if we have to go out of state, Louisiana definitely have some defensive linemen, that's for sure. All
right, let's talk about your guys. Let's talk about those corners. Obviously, we know what Trey is, but you think about Noah, you think about Josh Newton. There's a bunch of guys back there that can play for you. It feels like you're building some depth.
Yes, that's one of the things we came in camp wanted to do. And Noah has really picked up his game. He's having a good camp. Josh Newton, he's been steady.
Yeah.
He's a student of the game, very mature guy, flies around. Keon Stewart.
Keon can play.
Keon's having a good camp.
He is.
I'm very impressed with Keon and the progress he's made since the spring. Another guy, I think, is Beaudin.
Yeah.
You know, so he's a big, long guy, can run, very athletic. And so we building some depth. And there's some other guys, you know, even McMillan. You know, he's a guy, I mean, he's a walk-on. But, I mean, he's a solid player. And I really like that cat. I like what he brings to the table as far as his work ethic and his energy.
You ask a lot of them. You challenge them. I mean, they're going to be out there by themselves some, right?
That's right. That's right. They're going to be out there on that island. And that's one thing I talk to them about all the time. I mean, I played the position.
Yeah.
I mean, corner's a hot position. I mean, anytime you're out there on that island by yourself, you got to be able to hold your own. And it starts up front, just like we just got through talking about those defensive linemen. They start with those guys up front. You know, they're getting pass rush. And if we just have a little bit of coverage, I mean, we allow those guys to get to the quarterback. And they can put pressure on the quarterback, and it allows the ball to come out quicker. And we just need to be in position to make plays.
It takes a little different mentality to be a corner, doesn't it?
It does. And you got to have a short memory.
Yes, you do.
You
Yes,
gotta have a
yes,
short
you do.
memory.
Carl, what are you into outside of football? I know football takes up a lot of time, but you got to know. I know you got a great young family. Give me some sense as to what you're into outside of that.
Well, I mean, it's just that. You know, it's family. You know, so anytime I get the chance to, you know, spend time with the family, my wife, my kids, and even get a chance to go home and see my family back in Louisiana.
Yeah.
You know, see moms and brothers and all those people. And so the other thing, you know, just grill a little bit. You know, sit back and just relax. You know, get back on the patio and throw something on the grill, sit down and watch a little TV, maybe a movie with the wife, and that's pretty much it. You know, outside of here, I'm all about family.
Yeah. Well, you're working with a great staff that
Yes,
prioritizes family, and I know that was important to you.
Yes, no doubt. And you know, Coach Dykes is a wonderful man.
Yes.
It's a family atmosphere here. Excuse me. And I think the staff that we have is second to none. Great men.
I would be remiss if I didn't bring this up because we talked to Coach McFarland about his CFL career.
What you got?
All right, so the Baltimore Stallions.
Baltimore Stallions.
See, I remember when the CFL tried the U.S. thing. You know, did they have a team in Shreveport?
You know what? I think
Did they try to have a team in Shreveport?
I think they did. I'm not sure.
But they put in some American teams.
Yeah.
And I thought it had a chance. I thought it was going to work.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
It was good. It was good. I mean, it's right there in Baltimore, so I had a chance to go there and compete. And I ended up getting injured, sprained my ankle. They brought some older guys, some vets in, and
Right.
I ended up getting released. I went through camp and actually didn't even make it to the first preseason game.
Right.
You know, so but I enjoyed my time there.
Yeah.
You know, it was good. I learned a lot. You know, and maybe stay active.
And I tell
That's
you,
for sure.
you want to talk about a game that is tailor-made for the offense.
Mm-hmm.
A corner in the CFL. I mean, it's like you're playing with one hand tied behind your back. Those guys are at full speed when they're running at
No
you.
doubt.
You know, I mean, and the pass rushers have to be a yard off the ball,
That's
right?
right.
I mean, so you're out there by yourself.
Exactly. You better hold on to your, you know what. You know, I mean, it's challenging.
It is.
You know, those guys get on you fast.
Yes,
they
they
got
do.
full speed ahead of steam, and,
Yep.
and you better either catch them or you better get in the back pedal and stay on top of them.
I love it. Carl, thank you, man, for coming by. Really
Yeah, I
appreciate
enjoyed it.
Looking forward to great things out of your guys.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. We got more to come here on Frogs Today Daily, including some reaction from Coach David Beaudin. We'll get to that after we hear this.
Dave's Hot Chicken is a cult favorite and now has 2 locations in Fort Worth, Bryant Irvin Road on I-20 and Berry Street at TCU. Both owned and operated by Horned Frogs. Order the number 4 or number 5 for the tastiest lunch special under $10. Or order online at daveshotchicken.com.
Frogs Today Daily rolls on here after practice number 13. Let's go check out Coach David Beaudin now. You've been on this story about the transfer portal and how some teams are starting to manipulate it, especially when it comes to quarterback. Give us some insight into what's going on.
Yeah, I think it's really an alarming trend in college football right now. I know the big one right now out of LSU with the quarterback leaving, but so are about 3 or 4 different schools that I'm aware of over the last couple days where you don't win the quarterback battle and then all of a sudden, you know, you're out the door. And so from a roster management standpoint, it's sort of a nightmare right now. It always has been for college football coaches. So I asked Sonny Dykes directly about that and how alarming it was. He acknowledged that certainly it is and said for him it's not really even a 12-month view on a roster anymore. It's 24 hours. He said, look, I'm just going to – every morning I wake up and I'm going to coach the guys that are here, and it's certainly a concern, but it is what it is, and so that was his answer to it. But I think, from looking at this, from afar, I think they have to get to a point where they can regulate this and police it and have a deadline in terms of entering the portal. And I don't think camp is it. I think it now falls on – I'm all for making sure the players are taken care of, but it's going to get to a point where the institutions now are pigeonholed and not able to manage their rosters.
Wow, we've come to that, huh, David? All right, let's talk specifically here to TCU, though. This situation right now with this fight for this starting job, how does it play out? How does it sort of buck that trend that's going on right now?
I think for TCU, it's a unique situation. Coach Sonny Dykes talked today about he's been in quarterback battles where he was just trying to find out who was less bad. He was very candid in that. And so he acknowledges the fact that he's in a really good situation to have two quarterbacks that when you ask the players, when you ask coaches, they say they're completely neck and neck. They think they're both performing really well. They're sort of running the show. They've each been handed the keys to run the offense and done a great job. So, acknowledges that, hey, look, we're in a good situation from that standpoint. But when I look at it, I think one of the added bonuses, if, you just can't deny it, is one of the advantages of naming a quarterback so late is, that now it's a less chance for the guy who doesn't get the job to leave. Now, I think both these guys are really invested in the program, both great kids, both coaches' sons, so they understand the process. But certainly an added advantage. Whether that went into the decision to wait so long, who really knows? I don't think we'll ever know. But there's no denying it's been an added benefit for sure here at TCU.
All right, David, thank you for that. We'll continue to follow that storyline, see how it unfolds across the country. That transfer portal, folks, you got to keep your eye on that every day. Fortunately, here at TCU, folks are finding this a pretty good spot to be. All right, let's go back to the interview room real quick. I'm being told Savion Williams is there now addressing the media. Let's listen in. This is the Frog wide receiver, Savion Williams, in the interview room.
The new staff, I like everything. The air raid offense, it give me more opportunities to do things that I didn't get to do in the past with the last staff and everything like that. I gained a lot of confidence with the new staff when they came, like a lot of more confidence. Coach College pushed me to do more things and stuff like that, get me out of my comfort zone and everything and stuff like that I didn't like to do. And now I'm just really confident in everything I do now. My position coach, Coach Kelly, he was big, so every day in meetings, he always tell me I always use my body and everything like that. Don't ever try to play down to someone else's size and stuff like that. So I just really, every time I play, I just use my body and use what I got. Me and Q, we've been locked in since freshman year, so it's when I see him, ever since since we've been here and I see him out there, shoot, it's just I cheer him on. If I'm not out there doing what he doing, shoot, that's my brother. He out there doing what he needs to do. When my chance come, he'll come. He do the same thing for me every time I get out there. The best TCU has ever had, really. And best in the Big 12, no question. Both of them doing good. Shoot, you can see that. But, shoot, I like both of them, really. I mean, I don't see nothing different. They both the same. Sam can do a lot of things to this offense. If Sam had the chance, Sam could I just got to see him out there. I ain't seen him with the ones yet, but I know Sam got something that a lot of people don't know about. He can do everything. Sam can play corner, a receiver, running back. Sam can do anything, really. He's athletic.
Expecting big things out of that TCU wide receiver, Savion Williams, joining us from the interview room. What a show, huh? We had Sonny Dykes from the get-go, reaction from Jeff Wilson. We had Coach David Beaudin talking transfer portal. Carlton Buckels was by, the Frog corner coach, talking depth in this Joe Gillespie defense. And we close it out with Savion Williams, who's set to have a big year. All right, here's the deal for the rest of the week. No practice tomorrow for the Horned Frogs, so we're going to take the day off. We'll be back with you on Thursday. Then TCU has Friday a mock game, so no show on Friday or Saturday. Sunday's a big one, though. There'll be a scrimmage on Sunday. You'll want to be here. So we'll see you next time on Thursday for another edition of Frogs Today Daily. For all of our crew who helped make this possible, for David Beaudin and Jeff Wilson, also to Coach Sonny Dykes, Savion Williams, Carlton Buckels for stopping by. Big old thank you. And we're going to have a big old lunch. Thanks to Jay. We're headed to Dave's Hot Chicken. See you there.
Frogs Today Daily, presented by Dave's Hot Chicken, is a production of Roxo Media House.
Roxo Media House.